Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into the story of the Kyūshū J7W1 Shinden, or as it's known in English, the Magnificent Lightning. This Japanese prototype propeller-driven fighter from World War II was unlike anything else in the skies. With its wings mounted at the rear of the fuselage, a forward canard for control, and a pusher engine driving it forward, the Shinden was a bold, futuristic design. Developed by the Imperial Japanese Navy as a short-range interceptor for land-based operations, it was meant to take on Allied bombers in the final desperate days of the Pacific War. Though it never saw combat, the Shinden remains one of the most intriguing what-ifs in aviation history. By 1943, the Imperial Japanese Navy was feeling the heat. Allied air forces, especially the United States, were gaining the upper hand, and Japan needed a game-changer to counter heavy bombers like the Boeing B-29 Superfortress. The Navy turned to Captain Masayoshi Tsuneyoshi, a brilliant engineer at the 1st Naval Air Technical Arsenal in Yokosuka, to lead the charge. His team dreamed up a fighter with a radical aerodynamic layout, blending cutting-edge ideas with Japanese ingenuity. The Kyūshū Hikoki Company, a smaller player in Japan's aviation industry, was tasked with turning this vision into reality. Work began in 1944, and by July 1945, just weeks before Japan's surrender, the first prototype was ready to take flight. The Kyūshū J7W1 Shinden wasn't your typical World War II fighter. Its design broke all the rules. Instead of the usual wings in the middle and tail at the back setup, the Shinden had its main wings mounted at the rear of the fuselage, paired with a forward canard, a small wing-like surface near the nose for extra control. This configuration gave it exceptional maneuverability and stability, especially at low speeds, which was critical for an interceptor tasked with climbing fast to meet enemy bombers. Powering the Shinden was an 18-cylinder Mitsubishi Ha-43-11 radial engine, churning out 2,130 horsepower. Mounted at the back in a pusher configuration, it drove a four-blade propeller with a diameter of 10 feet 6 inches. The fuselage was crafted from duralumin for strength and lightness, with some wing and control surfaces covered in fabric to save weight. The aircraft stretched 31 feet 8 inches long, with a wingspan of 36 feet 5 inches and a height of 13 feet 1 inch. Its empty weight was 7,658 pounds, while the maximum takeoff weight reached 10,874 pounds. For firepower, the Shinden packed a serious punch. It was armed with 4 Type 5 30mm automatic cannons mounted in the nose, each with a 60-round magazine, giving it the muscle to take down heavily armored bombers. It could also carry bombs weighing up to 132 pounds each, slung under the fuselage, adding versatility for ground attack missions if needed. The Shinden took to the skies for the first time on August 3, 1945, at the Yokosuka Naval Base. Captain Masayoshi Tsuneyoshi himself, the mastermind behind the design, climbed into the cockpit for the 30-minute maiden flight. Over the course of 3 test flights, totaling just 45 minutes in the air, the Shinden showed it could hold its own. It hit a top speed of about 326 miles per hour at 13,000 feet, climbed at a rate of roughly 2,500 feet per minute, and had an estimated service ceiling of 39,370 feet. Its range was around 530 miles, perfectly suited for its role as a short-range interceptor defending Japan's home islands. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The Mitsubishi engine had a nasty habit of overheating, which called for tweaks to the cooling system. The pusher prop setup also caused issues with airflow, affecting engine performance. Before the team could iron out these kinks, Japan surrendered on August 15, 1945, halting all further development. The Kyūshū J7W1 Shinden never got its chance to shine in combat. After the war, the lone prototype was scooped up by Allied forces and shipped to the United States for study. American engineers pored over its unique design, marveling at its forward-thinking aerodynamics. Today, that prototype rests in storage at the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C., not fully assembled, but preserved as a testament to Japan's wartime innovation. The Shinden's influence lived on, even if it never saw the battlefield. Its canard design paved the way for later aircraft, like Sweden's Saab 37 Viggen and modern fighters, such as the Eurofighter Typhoon. It stands as a symbol of what Japanese engineers could achieve under pressure, pushing the boundaries of aviation in a race against time. The Kyūshū J7W1 Shinden, the Magnificent Lightning, is a standout chapter in World War II aviation. With its rear-mounted wings, forward canard, and pusher engine, it was a daring attempt to build a fighter capable of taking on the Allies' best. Though it never made it past the prototype stage, its bold design and the story of its creation remind us of the ingenuity and determination that defined Japan's final efforts in the war. The Shinden wasn't just a plane, it was a glimpse into what could have been. Every detail in this script has been cross-checked with trusted historical sources, including Japanese naval records, Allied technical reports, and works like René J. Francelin's Japanese Aircraft of the Pacific War. The dimensions, performance figures, and armament specs are drawn from the prototype's design documents and test reports. While the Shinden's limited flight tests mean some performance estimates, like its exact range, rely on design calculations rather than operational data, these figures are the gold standard in aviation history. The Magnificent Lightning remains a remarkable piece of engineering, and its story is as accurate as the records allow.